Aarav checked his watch for the 17th time. 7:42 p.m. She was 27 minutes late. The small Italian restaurant in the old part of the city smelled of fresh basil, roasted garlic, and possibility. Fairy lights draped across the exposed brick walls cast a warm golden glow over white tablecloths. A single red rose stood in a slim vase between the two place settings. He'd arrived 20 minutes early, nervous but hopeful, smoothing his navy button-down shirt and practicing smiles in the reflection of his water glass. His blind date, Maya, had been described by his cousin Priya as kind, funny, loves books and bad puns, just your type. They'd exchanged only a handful of messages on the app, light, teasing, promising. She'd sent a photo of herself laughing at a bookstore cafe, dark hair falling over one shoulder, eyes bright. He'd felt something stir, something he hadn't felt in the 3 years since his engagement imploded. He sipped his water again. The ice had long melted. At 7:50, he texted, "Hey, everything okay? I'm at the table by the window with the rose smiling face with smiling eyes." No reply. At 8:05, still waiting, hope traffic isn't too bad. Nothing. By 8:20, the waiter, a kind-eyed woman in her late 20s named Sara, according to her name tag, had stopped by twice more. First to offer bread, then to ask if he'd like to order a drink while he waited. Each time she smiled gently, the kind of smile that said she'd seen this scene before. "I'm sure she'll be here any minute," Sara said the second time, placing a small basket of warm focaccia in front of him. "You look nice tonight." Aarav managed a weak laugh. "Thanks." Feeling a bit like the guy who got stood up in a rom-com. Sara tilted her head. Those usually have happy endings. He wanted to believe her. By 8:45, the restaurant had filled up. Couples leaned close over candlelight, families laughed at the corner table, a group of friends toasted birthdays. Aarav felt like the only motionless object in a moving world. His phone stayed dark. No apology, no excuse, no "sorry something came up." Just silence. He stared at the empty chair opposite him. The rose was starting to look ridiculous. He signaled for the check. Better to leave with some dignity than sit here until closing. Sara returned with the bill folder. As she set it down, her fingers lingered a second longer than necessary. She met his eyes, really met them, and gave the smallest nod, almost imperceptible. "Take your time," she said softly. Then she walked away. Aarav opened the folder. The total was modest: 1 sparkling water, the focaccia he barely touched, tax. But tucked beside the receipt was a folded slip of paper, not part of the bill. He unfolded it slowly. Her handwriting was neat, slightly slanted. "Aarav. I've been watching you tonight. Not in a creepy way, just part of the job. You came in excited, hopeful, adjusting your collar, smiling at the door every time it opened. You waited. Patiently. Kindly. You didn't snap at me when I asked if you wanted to order. You didn't glare at your phone. You just waited. 40 minutes ago a woman came in. Dark hair, red coat, looked around quickly. She saw you through the window, saw the rose, saw you checking your watch. She froze. Then she turned and left before you could spot her. I watched her stand outside for a minute, hugging her arms, then walk away fast. I don't know why she did it. Cold feet, bad day, someone else, fear, doesn't matter. What matters is she left you sitting here alone, and that's not fair. You deserve someone who runs toward the door when they see you waiting, not away from it. You're not invisible. You're not forgettable. Tonight doesn't define you. If it helps at all, the guy at table 7 proposed to his girlfriend 10 minutes ago. She said yes. I cried in the kitchen. Love is still happening out here, even if it missed your table tonight, asterisk. Asterisk eat the tiramisu on the house. It's the least I can do, asterisk. You're going to be okay. Sara. Aarav read it twice. Then a third time. His throat tightened. Heat pricked behind his eyes. He looked up. Sara was clearing a nearby table, but she glanced over. When their eyes met, she gave a small, sad smile and a tiny shrug, as if to say I wish I could fix it. He blinked rapidly. A tear escaped anyway, tracing down his cheek. He wiped it quickly with the back of his hand, embarrassed, but another followed. He wasn't crying because Maya ghosted him. He was crying because someone had noticed. Someone had seen his quiet hurt and decided it mattered enough to write it down. Someone had cared enough to say, asterisk you are seen. You are worth waiting for, asterisk. He laughed once, a shaky, wet sound, and wiped his face again. Sara appeared at his side with a small plate. A perfect square of tiramisu dusted with cocoa, a single spoon. On me, she said quietly. Thank you, he managed. His voice cracked. For everything. She nodded. Sometimes the right person isn't the one who shows up. It's the one who sees you when no one else does. Aarav took a bite of the dessert. It was sweet, rich, comforting. He left a generous tip, more than the bill itself, and wrote on the receipt. Sara. Asterisk thank you for the note. And the tiramisu. And for making sure I didn't disappear tonight, asterisk. Asterisk you're right. I'm going to be okay, asterisk. Maybe better than okay. Aarav. He folded it carefully, placed it in the folder, and stood. As he walked toward the door, he paused at the entrance and looked back. Sara was reading his note now, one hand over her mouth, eyes shining. She looked up. Their gazes locked across the room. She smiled, real, wide, a little teary. He smiled back. Then he stepped out into the cool night air. The street was alive with people, laughter spilling from bars, headlights sweeping past. Somewhere out there, Maya was walking away from something. But Aarav wasn't chasing her anymore. He was walking toward whatever came next. And for the first time in a long time, the empty chair didn't feel so heavy. He pulled his coat tighter and started home, the taste of tiramisu still on his tongue, Sara's words folded in his pocket like a promise. Love hadn't missed his table tonight after all. It had just arrived in a different handwriting.